everyone. Hope you're all doing well. Growing up as a kid, I was always excited for Friday nights because on Cartoon Network, I got a new Star Wars The Clone Wars episode, a new Ben 10 episode, a new Young Justice episode, and a new Generator X episode. Not many of you may know what that last one is, and to be honest, I don't remember much of it either, except that I know that I watched it. All of these shows were special to me growing up. But today I just want to talk about why I love Young Justice. So, here's why you should watch Young Justice. Well, at least the first two seasons. I remember as a kid watching the first season of Young Justice and just being enamored by the story and the vision of where they are going to go with the show. I enjoyed DC characters, but not like this, and especially not with the sidekicks. But the show just does an amazing job of getting you invested in all of these characters. I think one of the reasons I love Young Justice is easily because it was a show that I watched growing up, and nostalgia is obviously going to play a factor as I grew up watching it as a kid, but recently I rewatched it, and the first two seasons, they stand the test of time. Maybe it's not Justice League or Justice League Unlimited or Batman the Animated Series or even Batman Beyond, but it deserves to be up here in this list and to be in this conversation with these shows. So, why should you watch Young Justice? The short answer is it's a great show, and especially if you want to learn more about characters that you probably haven't heard about. But if that doesn't do it for you, here's my few things on why I love Young Justice and why I think you should watch it. I've always loved Batman, but I never really thought highly of Robin until this show. Man, I love Dick Grayson. I love Dick Grayson because of the show. I know he was in Batman the Animated Series, but I wasn't born yet, so this was really my first exposure to Dick Grayson. It's amazing how much they're able to flesh out Robin in the show, especially with such a huge roster of characters to balance. The main driving force for Robin in the first season is that he wants to be like his father, Bruce Wayne. I mean, who wouldn't want to be? This leads him to want to be the leader of their group, but he's too young and immature at first to lead, so they choose Aqualad instead. This is a through line through most of the first season, up until they have a training exercise where it's made so they can't succeed. During this, Robin becomes the leader and he sacrifices everyone, and he realizes that he no longer wants to be the Batman.
Hurting. Try traumatized. I finally become leader and wind up sending all of my friends to their deaths. I know I did what I had to, but I hated it. When we started this team, I was desperate to be in charge. Not anymore. And that's not even the worst of it. You can't tell Batman.
Nothing leaves this room.
I always wanted, expected, to grow up and become him. And the hero bit, I'm still all in. But that thing inside the thing that drives him to sacrifice everything for the sake of his mission. That's not me. I don't want to be the Batman anymore.
Another reason I love this show is the plot. The first season is so good, and it has a twist that you most likely can't predict. The plot develops so well, and it just builds on each episode to get to this greater goal. Another thing is the balance between the Justice League characters and the Young Justice team. Because obviously we're in the DC world, so the Justice League has to be in the show. But they don't let these characters overwhelm the screen time. A lot of people complain about the time jump between the first and second season. And I can agree that's definitely something that little me was upset about. Still am. Because I feel like there are so many stories they could have told in this time frame, but once you get over that, season 2 is a great season. It may not be as great as season 1, but it pays off so many plot lines from the previous season, and it continues the plot of Robin growing up, becoming Nightwing. After the season 2 finale, though, the show got canceled, but eventually it was given 2 more seasons, and although they definitely aren't up to the level of the previous 2, there's still seasons of television. Kind of. Season 3 is the better of the 2 that they made, but they definitely fall off in quality and some other things. I think if you go into these second couple of seasons with lower expectations that maybe you'll be able to enjoy them. But don't quote me on that. I had to skip some unbearable episodes in season 4. There's more problems I have with these last 2 seasons, but that's for another time. This show is so good and it's easily one of my favorite shows, animated DC or just plain animated in general. Maybe you've already seen it. or maybe you haven't, but I recommend you take some time to go back and watch it, or watch it for your first time. I don't think you'll regret it.
Team, report to the mission room.
Having stopped the Reach invasion and broken the light in half, the team will now operate out of the Watchtower, side by side with the League. Not because Mount Justice was destroyed, but because you earned it.
And so, we'll leave you to it.
This team has had successes, but much remains to be done. Superboy, Miss Martian, Beast Boy, you're Alpha. Ba'ar's O'um has called from Mars. He needs help. Tigress, Kid Flash, Bumblebee, Guardian, you're Beta. LexCorp is bringing out the Reach soft drink under a new name. We need proof.
Business as usual.
The rest of you are Gamma, and will investigate Batgirl's lead on Vandal Savage's next move.
Thank you guys all for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Definitely a lot more to talk about Young Justice and why it's good, but I just wanted to touch on some of the reasons on why I love it. A couple of other things. Really excited for Daredevil. That's going to be coming out soon. Well, you have a few months. And also, they released some more footage for Captain America Brave New World. I don't think I'm going to make a video on it, but I'm excited to see it and see if it's going to be good. So far, all the trailers are looking good, but we'll see. And anyways, I'd appreciate it if you consider subscribing, and until next time.
You, me, Wally, we founded this team. Without him...
I understand.
You look good.
Really? Because I feel like a fraud.
Well, don't. You're honoring Wally's memory by becoming Kid Flash. I know he'd be proud.
Thanks.